We are here waiting to hear our Swami Chidanandapuri. The stage is set, and I'm sure Swamiji needs no introduction. However, let me tell you what happened last few days, what Swamiji did with Sadgamaya Foundation. Swamiji presented his views of Bhagavad Gita and politics in the Houses of Parliament. It was a splendid session with heated debate and questions. After that, a series of sessions happened over the UK, blessing the audience with wisdom. I'm sure this evening with Swamiji will transform us and enlighten our spirit. Without further delay, let me welcome Param Pujaniya Swamiji Chidanandapuri.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. I'm very happy to be here, especially seeing all the performances of our little children. I was feeling much happiness within. The name Bharata, which is the original name of India, we can see in all our Shastras. Not only in the Shastras, even in the Constitution of India, the name Bharata is there, in the preamble. The meaning of Bharata is, it comes from the root Bha. The meaning of Bha is, it is well said by Bhagavan Panini Maharshi, Bha Deeptau. Bha means Deepti. Deepti is effulgence, light. What is that light? What is the meaning of effulgence? It is nothing but the light of knowledge, as well described by Bhagavan Bhashyakara, Shankaracharya, in one of his Upanishad Bhashyas. Sarvesham Shobhamananam Shobhanatama Hi Vidya. Knowledge is the greatest light. It is the greatest effulgence. Knowledge is the greatest effulgence. So, Bha means the light of knowledge, and Bharata is a culture or a civilization or a nation or the attitude within. The term Bharata cannot be limited to a nation. When we have that attitude within, that vision, then it is Bharata. What vision? Having bliss in knowledge, or that culture, or that civilization, or that community which gives bliss, which have that bliss within, or which gives that bliss, the bliss of knowledge. That is called Bharata. That is the meaning of Bharata. And another meaning is, see, the name or the term Bharata comes as a combination of three letters. Bha plus Ra plus Ta. That is Bhava, Raga and Tala. Bhava is well represented by dances, other theatrical art performances, natakas. We cannot say the earlier natakas of Bhasa and Rupakams of Bhasa, natakams of Kalidasa, when those were given to the world. What was the time? So many scholars are saying this was the time of Bhasa, this was the time of Kalidasa, but we cannot, for certain, without doubt, speak about their time. So, thousands and thousands of years ago, even then, the art form, theatrical form, arts, with full bhava, and not only that, a deep and vast science of arts, that is Gandharva Veda, we had. And along with that, Raga and Tala. Of course, everybody know, Raga and Tala is connected with music. And of course, instruments also, both vocal and instruments. There are also so many treatises, like the one written by Narada and another written by Pingala. All were there from time immemorial. In later years, so many acharyas commented on them, and they made a systematical rule following which we are performing nowadays. So, let me say this much, Bharata is the land of, or where we can see the confluence of Bhava, Raga and Tala. And along with that, always remember, it is the land, or it is the nation, or it is the culture which is having bliss within, the bliss of light, bliss of knowledge, and which gives to the world bliss of knowledge. That is the real meaning of Bharata. When we say this much, we have to remember a small sentence from Veda, the oldest of Vedas, that is Rigveda Samhita. There is a saying in the first part of Rigveda, and that is Krinvanto Vishwamadhyam. That's a great message given to the whole humanity. And it was a task given to us. What is that? Krinvanto Vishwamadhyam. We can make the whole world great. Not that we can make Bharata great. Not that we can make Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa is Asia continent. Great. No. We can make the whole world great. How? Through spreading the harmonious knowledge. Through spreading the greatest branches of science which rishis gave to us. So by spreading the knowledge all over the world, we can make the whole world great. That was the message given by rishis when we do not know, thousands and thousands of years ago. Because that comes in the first part of Rigveda Samhita. See, when we think a little more about this Vedic exhortation, there is a verse in Manusmriti. It also comes in the beginning part of the first part of Manusmriti. That is, on the very outset, when he starts the text Smriti, Manusmriti, Manu writes about all the continents in the earth, in the world. There, he describes mainly 5 continents and also 2 other continents, 7 continents in total. And as a part of that explanation, he goes on to describe Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa is Asia. And as a part of that, he still goes on to explain about Bharatavarsha. Bharatavarsha is not the present day's India. No. It is more larger, comprising many other present countries. So after describing Bharatavarsha, Manu says, he observes, Etad desha prasutasya sakashadagra janmanaha swam swam charitram shiksheren prithivyam sarva manavaha. Prithivyam sarva manavaha. People of all the world, not people of Asia, not people of India, not people of this part or that part of the world, no, people of the whole world, let them come and learn. Edaddesha prasutasya sakashadagra janmana. Let them learn from a scholar of Bharat, what? Swam swam charitram shiksheren. Let them learn their own histories, their own legacies. This is a great exhortation we can read in the first part of Manusmriti. It clearly shows the position of Bharat as the teacher of the world. It was the position Bharata had, the teacher of the world. See, in the Ramayana, 2 instances I am bringing to your notice. While describing about Ayodhya, the birthplace of Lord Rama, Valmiki Maharshi clearly describes how the city of Ayodhya was. And in that description, there is a clear mention of so much Shadagnis around the city wall. So there was a big, huge wall around the city, and outside that wall there was a canal to protect the city, and in between the canal and the wall around the city there were so many Shadagnis distributed. And the same description we can see when Bhagavan Valmiki Maharshi describes Lanka, Hanuman. So, Hanuman was in search of Sita, and he reached Lanka. And when he reached Lanka, he observes the city of Lanka, how it is. There also the same description is there in Valmiki Ramayana. There were so many Shadagnis distributed around. What is the meaning of Shadagni? In Samskrita, the only possible meaning of Shadagni is that weapon which can kill more than 100 people on a single firing. Shatan Ghnanti idi Shadagni. On a single firing, that equipment or that weapon which can kill more than 100 people is called Shadagni. Why I am bringing this to your notice is that much treasure of weapons were there. That much treasure of weapons were known to rishis. But nowhere in the literature of ancient Bharat we can see such exhortations as go around the world and make your own nations, or with the help of your armory weapons, you establish your kingdom all around. No, never they exhorted so. Not in a single place in our treasure of literature we can see such exhortations. Instead, what they asked us to do is go around the world, teach about peace, teach about oneness of humanity, not of oneness of humanity, but oneness of everything, not of humanity, of all beings, and thereby make the world great. This was the task given to Bharat by rishis, and this is the task still even now we must remember. Because the whole world is in a turmoil. Everywhere we are seeing confusion and chaos, in fights. Our money power, our energy, our time, everything are being utilized for battles and wars. Between communities, between nations, between societies. So, spreading of this knowledge which will show, which will teach you the oneness of all manifestations. Who is within me as myself is the same as you in yourself. It is the same in him, same in her. There is no any difference in the world. So, showing this or teaching this unity of all existences, we have to bring together the whole humanity. And this is the urgent message the world is in need for. There is no doubt in that. So it is our primary task to study our own scriptures and realizing the real spirit of those teachings and spread across the universe, across the world, as much as we can. I am remembering one instance. It was in 1993. There was a convention of all religious teachers and scholars in Chicago, organized by United Nations. And so many scholars came from all religious sects from all around the world. From almost all countries, scholars came there. And they joined there. They sat together. There were so many discussions, debates, many things. And after 2-3 days, there was a report or a consensus, as a letter of consensus a paper was prepared there. Then, within that, it was extolling the need for religious tolerance. So the greatest message we must give to the world, or the message we can give to the world, is religious tolerance. That is the greatest message we have to give to the world. That was written there. But then Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji, who was leading all scholars from Bharat, he said, no, this is not the message. This is not the final message. Why? Everybody were asking in astonishment. No. What we are advocating is not tolerance, but universal acceptance. Not tolerance, universal acceptance. See, what is tolerance? Everybody says about tolerance, toleration. What is tolerance? I can share with you my view about tolerance. Just you imagine, I am a strict vegetarian. Imagine, we do not know what we are getting and eating. When we ask for rice or wheat, what we are getting, we do not know. But just imagine I am a strict vegetarian. And during my travels, I went to a restaurant. Not my private place, it's a restaurant. So I sat there and I got my food, strict vegetarian food. And there was a chair in front of me. So that was vacant. Then while I began to eat, then one fellow came with so many plates in his hand. And he also sat there. And he took out so many items, meat of many animals and birds, fish, this, that, and long pieces of snakes, but all cooked, you see, so I don't fear. I don't have any problem with that, because he can eat. But in front of him, there were some vessels with living scorpions. They were not dead. They were living. And some small snakes. They were also living snakes. He put everything in front of me and he asked me, Swami, have you got any problem? No, I don't have any problem. You should have. Enjoy your food. But what will be the feeling within me? I have to tolerate. I have to keep tolerance. I cannot. It is not my private place. It is a restaurant. It is his right to sit there and eat as he wants. But just imagine, think within, what will be the feeling I have within. I am sharing the table with him, but I am having an itching feeling within, because living scorpion, you see, and so many other living beings on that table, besides pieces of snakes and all. So that is tolerance. I have to tolerate, because I don't have any other way. This is not the message we have to imbibe. No. Because when we say about religious tolerance, I cannot accept you because there is a vast difference between you and me, but still I am tolerating you. No. The message given by rishis is the message of acceptance. message of universal acceptance. We must always keep that in mind. Universal acceptance, because the self of all manifestations is the same. There is no any difference. Many a people say is Occidental and Oriental, Eastern and Western. I cannot understand what's the meaning of that. Eastern and Western. For example, when we say from India, Western culture, Western countries, we can understand. Those countries which are on the west side of India is Western, are Western. All right. Then what about Australia? Is it Eastern or Western? Huh? It is Eastern, but still we call them Westerners. What nonsense it is. There is no demarcating line. The message given by Veda was and is, with underline, let me repeat. The message given by Veda was, and is Vishwambhavatyeka Nedam. The whole world is one nest of birds. It is one nest. With so many particles, the nest is being made. But it is the abode where we have to live together. It is not mine, not yours. We have the right to stay here. We don't have any authority to own. But we are saying owners of this land. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to repeat, Lord smiles on two occasions. Ishvara smiles on two occasions. One, when some doctor says to his patient, I will cure you. Then Bhagavan laughs. If he say, I will care you, it is all right. He can care, but he cannot cure. But everybody like laughing. For me, I like laughing much. Because the name itself is Swami Chidanandapuri. The first letter is Chi and the last letter is Ri. In Malayalam it is laughing. Chiri. Chiri is laughing. I like it. Everybody like. So Bhagavan also like to smile, like to laugh. So every now and then such situation comes in the world and some doctor says, many doctors would say, I will cure you, I will cure you. No, he cannot cure, he can care. That much only. The curing part will happen by the natural law on which he have no control. And the second occasion is when two brothers build a wall in the middle of their plot, and after having some registration documents, say, this is my land, this is my land. After building a wall in their midst, they say, this is my land, this is my land. How many millions and millions of generations said so? And whose land is this? Just to think. So, we can live here, obeying the rules, those holding everything together. Once more, let me repeat. Obeying those rules, holding everything together. From the minutest atom to the grossest universe, everything is held together by an order, a scheme, a rule which we call Dharma. Dharma is that by which everything is held together. It is not some religions. Dharma has nothing to do with religion. Religions will come, religions will go. In different times, at different places, different religions came into existence. And when religion comes, people will accept, it will flourish for some 100 years or thousands years, then starts decaying and will end. Then another will sprout. So religions after religions comes in the world. Philosophies after philosophies. But as the very substratum of all, as the very base of all, Dharma will be there. Dharma is there. See, Dharma is the very base or very substratum of all religions, philosophies, life patterns and all. And that Dharma is nothing but the scheme or the order which is uniting everything, which is holding everything together. We must understand that. The term Dharma comes from the root Dharane. Dharyate anena sarvam iti Dharma. By which everything is held together, that is Dharma. So, paying our full attention to Dharma, live a life of Dharma, and study the greatest treasure which our rishis gave to us. It's a great treasure of knowledge, where there is no differentiation of spiritual and secular. There is no such differentiation. We cannot differentiate knowledge. Physics and metaphysics, no. And this much knowledge is spiritual and this much is secular, no, we cannot say. There is no such differentiation. There is knowledge which has been given by our rishis is harmonious in nature, holistic in view. We must know that, and we must show to the world that holistic knowledge which helps us to assimilate all ideas and accept everything as it is and love everybody as he is, without converting him to some other faiths. No. See, many a time people questions, Swami, can you explain the difference between dharma and religion? There are many differences. But one main difference, let me narrate. Just you imagine a forest, natural forest. So many types of trees, so many types of plants, creepers, grass, flora and fauna, living together, sharing together, loving together. Just imagine such a forest. If we go there, cutting all the trees, and with the help of modern earth mover equipments, uproot the trees and make the forest level the ground. And after that, in equal distance, we dig some holes and put some plants. that will be a plantation. Of course, it will be green in color. Trees will be there growing. But plantation is a plantation. It is not a forest. There is a huge difference between a forest, natural forest, and a plantation. See, some 6 or 7 years back, I happened to see a newspaper report in Malayalam, and it was so many elephants came out of a Wayanad forest to nearby villages. That was the report. And it was written, elephants came out of forest because of heat. Because of heat they came out of forest. After reading that newspaper, somehow there was some confusion within me, because I lived in forest for a long time. I was living in forest. And forest is that much cool. And how elephants are coming out of forest because of heat? I cannot digest that newspaper report. I couldn't. So I took some other newspapers, of course in Malayalam. The same news was there. Then I took some English newspapers. The report was there. Then there was some truth in the report. So I decided I will go there and see for myself what is wrong with forest. Why elephants are coming out and they're going to villages. And I find out some days for that exploration, and I went to those places. What I saw is, it was eucalyptus plantation. There were bamboo plantations. There were teak plantations. There were acacia plantations. Not forest. There were forests earlier. But we destroyed all forest and cultivated these plants, and we are calling them forest. What is the difference between forest and plantation? That is the difference between dharma and religion. Whatever be the religion. I'm not saying about one religion or other religion. All religions are like plantations. One way, one God, one text, only one way. What I am following is the greatest. What I am following is the greatest. My religion is the greatest religion. That is the view of our religion. Whereas the view of dharma is, you have your own views. You can practice as you like. And I have my own views and my own practices. We can love together. We can cohabit in this world together. We can love each other. We can share each other. So like a forest, the vision Rishis gave us, that is the vision of dharma, accepts all different belief patterns and systems. Whereas in religion, we cannot see that. So the need of the hour is, the need of the world is the concept of dharma. Dharma. So what I am asking here is, learn well and understand the principles, the theories behind dharma. What is dharma? We must have that knowledge within. And with that knowledge, we can spread those ideas around the globe. Because the present day world is in much need. Because to realize we are one, there is a place for everybody. There is a place for everybody. What is within me as myself is the same as what is you in yourself. So to realize that, our rishis gave us wonderful treasures, having no limit, starting from Vedas, going through Vedangas, of course Upavedas and Itihasas, Puranas and other Dharma Shastras. A whole ocean of knowledge is there kept for us. And nowadays we can see it is spreading everywhere. The whole humanity, with much expectation, is looking to Vedas. We are seeing that. We are experiencing that. When we travel around to different countries, we are seeing that inquisitiveness, that real yearning to know. So, we are reaching at the place where we started. We can make the whole world great with these great ideas. World is in urgent need. So it is our basic duty to spread these tenets of knowledge, which will show the world the theory of oneness, universal acceptance. So, study that. Again and again ruminate what we get from readings and hearing satsangas. Ruminate again and again. And find out the essential unity of all beings and teach unto the world. Spread all over the world as much as we can. Garuda flies. There are pigeons flying. There are crows flying. So many small sparrows flying. Of course, mosquitoes are also flying. All have a space in the atmosphere. Everybody cannot do in a single way. No, each and everybody has his own potential. With our potential, with our ability, we can learn this treasure and we can spread this treasure. That is the urgent need of the time. That is the urgent need of the world, because the unifying teaching we must get. Otherwise, teaching which will divide the whole world. My, your. That will mar the future of the world. So, always remember those teachings of our rishis, especially that sentence with which we started, Krunvanto Vishwamaryam. We can make the whole world great. I am not at all interested in giving one-way lecture. There is no meaning at all. One man sitting on a stage and talking, there is no meaning. So, whatever you want to ask, you can ask. There is no any subject restriction, no need for hesitation. You can ask. If I know the reply, I will reply. So then there will be a question-answer session. It is something like we are selecting so many topics for discussion, because everybody sitting here came so early, and it is not at all good to kill you by a long lecture. Instead of that, you can ask if you want to ask. Don't create problems. If you have any doubt, you can ask. So, if you have any